Here we have our expense report already filled in and formatted. We want to make sure that it prints properly. So everything to do with page size and orientation and page breaks and so forth, we can find here under the Page Layout tab. So click Page Layout tab, and here we have our Page Setup group. And let's take a look at a few things. First, let's take a look at page size and click this. And you see we have all sorts of different page sizes. Some you may not recognize what they are. And you can always go down here and choose custom size, but I'm just going to leave it as letter, so you could just click off it here somewhere. Well, now that you know which size it is, here's one way that you can see how it's going to look when printed. Down here in the lower right corner, we have our view buttons, and click this middle view button here, that's page layout. So you can see the actual sheet of paper and scroll down. Now keep in mind that this is not always exactly what will be printed out. This is not a print preview. We'll see print preview in a moment. But notice here on bottom, we have these colorful arrows, and then we have a second set of cities that we visited in our expense report. We have some calculations here. And scroll back up. When you're dealing with page layout, you might think that when you're setting up the page for printing, you go into page layout view. And sometimes that's right, but because page layout view doesn't always show you exactly what's going to happen when you print out, we really want to use print preview. So first thing I'll do here is I'm going to go back to normal view. So I'll click that normal view button. Now to set the print area, let's scroll down. What we're going to do is we're going to decide that we want everything up to the colorful arrows to print. So let's select across row 28. And then select up to the very top. Click here on Print Area and choose Set Print Area. And if you deselect, you can see this dotted line, and that tells us what will print out. Now, if you click down here back on Page Layout, you can see, and this is where I was saying that this isn't exactly right, because this dotted line is showing you your print area, and only that will print out. But it's still showing you these other cities on the sheet of paper. That's what I mean by not quite exact. So let's go back to normal view. Well, let's take a look at print preview. Two ways to do it is you could either press Control P on your keyboard to print, or click the File tab to go to Backstage View and go down over here to Print. And now you can see your preview. So it's printing what we want, but maybe we want this to be landscape oriented. Well, just press the Escape key on your keyboard, and you see what happens is, because the Page Layout tab was the last place you were before Backstage View, pressing the Escape key just brings you right back to Page Layout View. So let's go up to Orientation and make it Landscape. And again, this time I'll press Control P, and this is Landscape, but it's kind of squished to the upper left corner. We really want this to be centered vertically and horizontally. So again, I'll hit the Escape key. And let's go up here to Margins and choose Margins, and down at the bottom, click Custom Margins. This simply brings us to the Margins tab of the Page Setup dialog box. Here under Center on Page, choose horizontally and vertically. Click OK. And now let's go back to Preview. And now we can see it's centered on the page vertically and horizontally. Also, notice down here on the bottom, this shows us it's page 1 of 1. So we know that this page has broken correctly. Again, I'll hit the Escape key. Now maybe we decide, we want to print the entire worksheet after all. We don't want just that part of it. So we'll go up here to the print area and choose Clear Print Area. Now if you scroll down, you can see these two dotted lines because these are automatic page breaks. But look where this page is breaking. It's breaking kind of in the middle of the second set of cities. We probably want to break it up there. So click the first city, go up here to Breaks, choose Insert Page Break. And now we could see the page is broken above the second set of cities. Well, let's check it out. Go to the File tab, back to Print. So again, we have the first page is up to those colorful arrows. Here we can see we're looking at page 1 of 2. Click that arrow, and now we can see the second set of cities. And you see the column titles are missing, and that's something we'll deal with later on in this chapter. So again, just press the Escape key. Something else that you might want to do is turn off the grid lines. And again, we're still into the Page Layout tab, and here under Sheet Options, you see the grid lines, View and Print are two checkboxes. What that means is that showing grid lines or not showing grid lines, you could do independently for viewing on the screen and for printing. So right here under View, I can deselect that, and now we don't see grid lines of the page. Put it back. By default, grid lines don't print, but you can check that and they will print. So you could do that independently. One other thing you want to know is that a worksheet can have only one print area at a time. If you go up here and you set the print area to a new area, your original print area is deleted. There is a little workaround, and I'll show you that later in the course, but that's something kind of important you want to keep in mind.